KTRS. Dale Rawlings is with us. He, of course, runs Yellow Farmhouse Winery. Got a little time to talk with him. Good morning, Dale Rawlings.
Good morning, McGraw.
How are things going down at Yellow Farmhouse Winery?
We're having a great spring. We kicked it off right. The weather's been pretty good to us, and the grapes are just normal as can be.
Yeah. So it's a working vineyard. I talk about this. You grow the grapes from start to finish.
Yeah, we grow a big percentage of our grapes, and truthfully, that may shrink simply because Missouri is now producing so many grapes that grapes are available on a tonnage basis pretty well everywhere.
Right.
And quite frankly, I'd rather be in the wine business than the vineyard business. But,
okay.
But we'll still grow some grapes.
So you grow the grapes, and then I guess the process begins once you have the grape. Is that right?
Well, the process begins in actually growing the grape, but we have a policy that we want to crush the grape the first day it's picked. So if we have a supplier who's got a vineyard somewhere who's going to bring us grapes, we want to get those grapes in before noon.
Okay.
And they may start at dawn or in the middle of the night to get them there to us, but that's part of the deal because the freshest grapes make the best wine. And if we got to hold on to them for 2 or 3 days, and that's why wineries that are hauling grapes from California in here and making wine with California grapes
right.
Are at a disadvantage because the grapes are 6, 7, 8 days old by the time they get them crushed.
And you're an expert. You can tell the difference. I'm not. Can I tell the difference?
You probably can if you had them side by side. There's a freshness to them. There's a spontaneity to the grape that if you capture it early, you'll get it, and you can taste it.
Yeah. Huh. All right, Yellow Farmhouse Winery, Highway 94 in Defiance. It's the first winery you get to. You can't miss it. It's going to rain all weekend long, Dale. It'd be good if you had a big, giant stone pavilion to help people out with.
Well, we just happen to have one with us, and we can seat up to about 100 people in there. And it's a great, big, tall pavilion. You won't feel like you're in a barn or in a cave. We got a fireplace if it gets cool, although this warm weather I don't think is going to quit for a few days.
You brought the timbers in from Colorado?
We did. They're western slope out around Grand Junction. They cut them and they brought them in here, and it was all stick built on premises. So we've got, I think, a very beautiful structure as well as a very practical one.
Wedding season in full swing there?
Yeah, this is it. May and June starts the wedding season. It tapers off a little bit in July and August, and that has a lot to do with the weather. When it's 95 degrees and 95 humidity, women and men don't want to get dressed up for weddings, so they don't book them. Then it starts again in September and October, even as early as first week in November.
So you have a tasting room, which, and I know you brought a bottle of wine. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I want to talk about the Norton, because the Norton it's the grape that's best known here in Missouri, and you explain it so well. And you explain it in this tasting room so well that people can really learn and actually enjoy learning about wines.
We want people to understand our average service time is 20 to 30 minutes. There's no, here's your glass of wine, pay me the money, and which bottle do you want to buy?
Right.
We will not engage in that. We want people to come in and get familiar, and we promote Missouri wines. So Norton, of course, is the big flagship of Missouri wines.
Right.
We're going to take as much time as that client wants to talk about that wine. If they don't want to talk about it, that's fine with us, too.
Right, yeah. And so 2012.
The big year.
The big year. Why is 2012 Norton's from Yellow Farmhouse Winery such a big deal?
Well, that year was the year of the red hot summer. We set all kinds of records. I think we had so many days over 90 degrees and so many days over 100 degrees. And the grapes just literally were heated on the vine. I had a guy explain that to me and said it's a little bit like making Madeira wine. That they heated Madeira wine in the old days, and he said this Madeira effect is something. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
But the grapes had a lot of heat on them while they were on the vines. We knew something was different when we harvested. That day when we brought them in, the juice was richer. It was more concentrated. It had a better aroma. It had just a neat poignancy to it that we had never seen before. Well, we've got to wait 3 years to make it, and we just rolled it out this month.
Right.
And I got to tell you, I'm very proud of this wine. Give this wine a couple of more years to age in the bottle, and you're going to have a premier wine.
So you were telling me that the Yellow Farmhouse Winery 2012 Norton, people are coming in and picking it up in droves.
Sure, and they're taking it home, putting it in their basement, and forgetting about it for a little while.
Because the Norton wine gets better with time.
Yes, even in the bottle.
Even in the bottle.
Yeah, and time means a long time. Missouri wines tend to be very shelf-worthy for a long period of time. Norton maybe leads the pack. I'm betting that this will be good for 20, 30 years. On
Really?
the shelf, yeah.
So if you buy a Yellow Farmhouse Winery Norton 2012, you could open up in 2032 and it'd be great?
I think so. I can't guarantee that, but it looks that way. The trouble, McGraw, is that you won't hang on to it till 32.
Right.
You'll say one night, I want to have open that bottle and have a good glass of wine with a steak, and you'll take it off that shelf.
All right. Well, now what is this one you brought?
This is
with us?
Vignoles. This is a French hybrid out of the late 1800s when Missouri finally came up with a cure for the French phylloxera. We started learning how to hybridize wines.
Okay.
And Vignoles was one of the earliest wines that was hybridized. It is a French hybrid, hybridized Missouri grapes and French grapes, and it survived because it's so good. This is a good, fresh, fruity, but a white wine with body. It's a good wine with steaks and chicken and not heavy steaks.
So you're saying you took the French grape and the Missouri grape and you created a third grape out of it.
That's right. And don't ask me what grapes they are because I have long forgotten.
Right.
But this is a hybrid of a Missouri and French grapes, and it's a delightful wine. We sell a lot of Vignoles. In fact, it's probably our largest selling white wine.
And white wine goes good with steak?
Well, light steaks. I wouldn't recommend it with spicy steaks like pork steaks and T-bones, but it sure does go good with pork and chicken and the lighter meats.
Okay. All right, good to know. And the Norton's good for that.
Well, the Norton's a great steak wine. It is our flagship steak wine.
It is a good wine.
Yeah, right.
All right. So what do we need to know about Yellow Farmhouse Winery?
Well, we're open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from noon to 5. And Friday's a quiet day. If you like a nice quiet place to have a glass of wine and contemplate nature, that's Friday. Saturday is usually our biggest day.
Right.
We have a lot of people around usually on Saturday and followed closely by Sunday, but we're there 5 hours a day for 3 days.
From Highway 94 and 40, you're what?
We're exactly 9 miles south of 40.
Okay, I was going to say 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10, 12, 15 minutes. Yeah.
And we're about to endure some highway department detours, which we're going to have to work through, but right now it's a straight shot down there.
Right on Highway 94 in Defiance. You can't miss it. If you don't zag, you'll go right into your living room.
That's right, and we've had a few people miss the curve.
All right. Say hi to Larry Connors at the Biker Bars, and then head over to Yellow Farmhouse Winery. You'll have your Vignoles, you'll have your Chambersons, your Rosés.
You're very good.
The Rosés is the port wine, right?
No. Rosé is a Chamberson wine made with Chamberson grapes.
And what's the port?
The port is made with Norton.
The port is made with Norton.
Right.
That's a good dessert wine,
yeah.
Which you blew me away that day. Yellow Farmhouse Winery, yellowfarmhousewinery.com. Weddings, anniversaries, you name it. That Big Stone Pavilion, going to be great for this weekend with some bad weather coming. Dale, always a pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks, McGraw.
All right, we are officially done. Stay tuned.